when we look around the world to find out where are the places in the world that seem to be at the top end, like Singapore, Finland, Ontario in Canada, Hong Kong, and so on, and particularly when you're looking at places that have continued to be able to maintain their good results over time, what is it that they're doing? They are improving through peers and innovation. Teachers are working together, school leaders are working together within and across schools. This leads us to professional learning communities. We know that professional learning communities make a difference to children and young people when teachers are focusing on the impact of their teaching on students' learning and engagement, when they're being supported to understand that, to inquire, to process that, and when the whole culture is focused on everyone's learning, and that is within and between schools. So these are the dimensions that my research and others, if I cull across the research, these are the dimensions that matter. When they are at their best, they are involving as many people as possible. I'm looking in the middle. And everyone has this collective sense of responsibility. The most powerful thing that leaders can do is that they can help their teachers learn and grow, and Karen Seashaw Lewis and Ken Leithwood's research also, they can create the conditions by creating professional learning communities. We are finding now that people are trying to understand much better how knowledge moves around, how practice moves around. If we've got good practice in one area, how can we get that good practice in another area? This is talking about joint practice development, particularly between different schools. You need to start with the end in mind. Where do you want to get to? And this concept of professional learning turns professional learning really onto its head for many people, because instead of saying, what do we think teachers need to do now, it says, where are the issues with our students? Helen Timperley says, in fact, in realizing the power of professional learning, she says you can do the same thing as far as leaders are concerned, and you say, what knowledge and skills do our teachers need? And therefore, what knowledge and skills do we as leaders need? That really is a different way of thinking about professional learning. The second one, which I think is often very neglected, because we say we need to improve teachers' practice. We need to get their skills better. But we know from psychology as well, from the whole issue of assimilation versus accommodation, that learning occurs in the dissonance as well. So you really need to be challenging thinking as a fundamental part of changing practice. So what else do we know about professional learning that makes a difference for teachers' practice and for students' learning? That it is both focused on the individual and on the school, and that learning opportunities need to be sustained over time and need to be varied, rich and deep. We know in terms of professional learning, for example, that well-focused observation with feedback, everybody talked about feedback and reflection, can be very powerful. We spend a lot of our time in the comfort zone. We need to push ourselves and teachers into the learning zone.